Okay, so we are making another video of the game pulpit, and this day we are going to be talking about basically this is a little bit off, this is a little bit different, and I'm not going to try to make a long video. I'm trying to handle things in like 2 to 3 minutes per subject. But the thing that I'm curious about is I'm late to the game, and I did research on this particular movie that was a Netflix exclusive. It was called Bird Box, and they had some interesting themes that kind of reminded me of Death Stranding. And it's funny because everyone kind of like loved the concept of they loved the concept of Bird Box. So basically, I'm going to spoil it, to a degree. I don't know. But anyway, Bird Box is about some sort of cosmic, supernatural entity that the human mind cannot really perceive exactly. As a matter of fact, it would drive them mad if they look at or gaze upon this particular entity. Totally drive them up the wall. And in this particular case, they would kill themselves, and they will see whatever was their deep darkest like fear or grief or anything like that, which is in itself is a pretty cool concept. It is actually familiar to the Bloodborne series, which is why I have this video playing in the background. So there were some creatures, amygdalas. They're invisible in the game, and the more knowledge that you have in this game, which they call it insight, the easier it is for you to see these cosmic entities, which it drove the people mad. Anybody that was regular would drive them mad. And it's just like, it looks like everybody has been, basically kind of like attacking the Lovecraft type, story that's been going on, and I just feel like it's cool. So getting back onto Death Stranding, that game has a lot of Lovecraft concepts in there. We're talking about like, entities that you can't really see. You know what I mean? They're in some sort of dimension, or the human mind cannot perceive them without them going mad or things like that. I basically wanted to say, like, I really think it's going to be a cool, like, I feel like I like the fact that everyone is on board with, the Lovecraftian, type of lore and things like that, because it's for the woke people, I should say. No, I mean, but honestly, I really do feel like it's cool. I really feel like Death Stranding is definitely on the right track and on the correct wave, since everyone is becoming introduced to this particular lore and things like that. So I'm definitely on board with that. I feel like if you look at the on YouTube, the different videos that they have for Death Stranding and the theories behind it, alternate dimensions and things that the human mind cannot perceive, things of that nature, it resembles a lot. It resembles Bird Box a lot. It resembles that shit, and I just feel like they're not the same, but it's very related. I feel like that's gonna be really cool. The second thing I wanted to mention here, which is the second subject essentially, is just completely swerve off of this whole Death Stranding and Bird Box. There's these publications nowadays. I don't know what the fuck's going on with them, but what they've been saying is that the PlayStation or Sony is in jeopardy of creating the same or making the same mistakes as Microsoft when they released the Xbox One X, or One, excuse me, not Xbox One X, but the One. And their particular excuse is that Sony mentioned that they wanted to expand the PlayStation Network. And I'm like, where do you get that Sony, in that statement, where do you get that Sony was going to, dedicate, you know, and it was basically their fear of multimedia, like, focus. And I don't think they got it. Like, it's everyone's up for the clickbait bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Which is fucking annoying. It's very annoying because at no point did Sony state that they were going to try to incorporate, entertainment, for their PlayStation platform. It's the opposite, actually. They wanted to, spread the PlayStation, the PlayStation franchises and just its footprint amongst the other branches of Sony. So Sony TVs, or really this is pertaining to PlayStation Now and things like that. But just knee-jerk reactions with Sony because of their them being the top dog. There was also some articles about Nintendo claiming a spot of most popular system. And I'm like, there's a couple of things wrong with that too. I mean, the PlayStation has been out for 5 years, and it's sold 91. I said this in my other video. Sold 91 million fucking units. It's going to die down. Period. There's a lot of people that have this shit. It's inevitable, unless you selling them shits at like $100. You know what I'm saying, or $200 even. Unless you get like a price drop. Well, everybody basically have it, and we already know what's going on with Sony and their exclusives and things like that. So it's like, the fuck are people talking about? Like, it's a shame that human nature just wants to see things burn for the sake of it being popular. You know what I mean? I wish this shit would happen to the iPhones, but that's never fucking gonna happen. So annoying. But it's just, people just can't stand to see Sony like win anything at all. It's like so ridiculous. You know what I mean? They never could do anything right, and even with theirs, they're just waiting for something to happen. They also too, they said this. But the reason why they feel like Sony is in jeopardy of making Xbox mistakes was cross game chat, cross gameplay. That's what they were saying. They were saying, we really believe that they should have did the cross multiplayer. You know what I mean? Crossplay. There we go, crossplay. It really should have had crossplay at the door, which they definitely had like last generation, but Microsoft said hell no with that. It's just, I don't know. There's a lot of people that they want Sony to fail so bad, and I don't understand the reason. Because if Sony fails, no more multiplayer galore and fucking free-to-play games. You know what I'm saying? Or microtransactions out the ass. You know what I mean? This looks like Sony and Nintendo are the only companies basically are trying to do some kind of quality stuff, because their gaming sector means a lot to them, where it doesn't mean shit to Microsoft. And lastly, I had a video. A lot of people kind of viewed the video and shit like that, and I got a shit ton of dislikes. It was ridiculous because I guess people thought that I was going to have footage of Dreams, and I don't have footage of Dreams. But guess what? Now the fucking the NDAs are open. There's no NDAs for the beta at all. So you should be able to see this shit whenever you get a chance. So take a peek at that. Go on YouTube, go on the forums, search for this shit, see what's going on. But anyway, let me know what you think about this video. Let me know in the comments what you liked or disliked about the video, and if you liked it, a sub will be appreciated.